Hey guys, my name is Opal and this is a Sprout's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. This series focuses on common questions new players have when starting Final Fantasy XIV and where there's no question too simple. One of the coolest features in Final Fantasy XIV is the ability to easily switch between every job on one character. But how does one go around leveling all of them? In this video, we're looking at the various options open to you when you're looking to get into a new job. For those of you that just want my quick recommendations on how I level, I mainly focus on my daily roulettes, primarily the leveling and alliance raid roulettes. If I'm in a rush one day, I may only do the trial and normal raids because the small amount of experience is still better than none. I typically skip main scenario roulette, but that's because I'm impatient, but it is worth doing for the rewards if you can handle unskippable cutscenes. After I'm happy with my roulettes, I clear through any level appropriate tribal quest for that job as well as clearing out the hunts that I have marked for that day. Finally, if I'm still looking to level further that day, I just spam the highest level dungeon I can until I feel like stopping for the day. Also a side note, there are a few ways you can give yourself a passive increase to any experience you gain. First, all food in this game gives a buff that will increase experience gain by 3%. This may not seem like a lot, but if you're trying to level quickly, every bit counts. Second, at level 15, you can go to an NPC called the Smith that is situated by the inn at each of the major starting cities. Here you can participate in the Hall of the Novice, which is a short series of tutorials that teach you the basics of running dungeons. It will reward you with a pretty good set of early game gear as well as a ring that increases experience gained below level 30 by 30%. Third, if you have recruited a friend or were recruited by a friend into the game, you will eventually be given a helm item called the Friendship Circlet, which increases the experience gained below level 25 by 20%. And finally, if you have pre-ordered any of the expansions in the past, you will have an earring that increases all experience gained by 30% until you reach that expansion's base level. Now for a more in-depth answer. Do the MSQ. Do the MSQ. Do the MSQ. But seriously, if you are watching this video and have not completed the main story yet, that is by far the most efficient way to level up your first job. Not only will it give you a ton of experience, but it will also passively unlock new level appropriate content to keep the leveling experience more interesting. In addition to the MSQ, it's important to keep an eye on your job quests and do them as they become available, as some class and job quests will give you new abilities to add to your kit. An often overlooked feature that gives a decent amount of weekly experience is called the challenge log. You unlock this feature by completing the side quest, Rising to the Challenge at level 15. Note that you will have to complete the MSQ quest, Call of the Sea, before this becomes available. Once unlocked, you can find this under the Logs menu at the bottom right corner. This is a checklist of weekly goals that you can complete for bursts of experience. These goals include doing 3 dungeons, commending 5 people, and other objectives that you will be passively doing over the course of the game anyways, so you might as well get some easy experience from them. In addition to being a boon for leveling, the challenge log gives a variety of other rewards, such as bonus MGP for the Gold Saucer and Chocobo experience. If you want help deciding what to do when you log in every day, might I recommend doing your weekly Wondrous Tails? This is a book of to-dos given to you by Chloe Alieppo in Idleshire that, upon completing 9 of her tasks, you can hand in for a rapid 1/2 level's worth of experience regardless of what level your current job is. You can unlock Wondrous Tails by completing the quest Keeping Up with the Alieppos found in Idleshire at level 60. These are very worth keeping up with while you're leveling since most of the items she asks for can either be soloed very quickly or are included in most of your roulettes, so you can probably complete a book every week with very little extra effort on your part. Plus, you have a chance of getting bonus rewards from the included sticker game, and who doesn't enjoy a good spot of gambling every week? Now, for most of your jobs, you will not have something like the MSQ to passively gain experience with, and your challenge log can only get you so far. So, what can you do to get that new job to max? Well, the best thing I can recommend is to run your daily roulettes. These can be found in the Duty Finder section of the Duty menu. The default hotkey for this on PC is U. This will show you a variety of roulettes that you can run daily, and each gives you a hearty chunk of experience and is personally my favorite way to steadily level a character up. You can run these more than once a day, but you will only gain the bonus rewards for your first run per roulette per character. You can also see if your role is currently getting a bonus for a certain roulette by checking the Adventurer in Need column. Now, what do these things even do? Well, a roulette will take a random instance from a certain pool of content and match you with other players to run that instance. The first roulette that you will unlock will be the leveling roulette. This includes every dungeon that you have unlocked that wasn't categorized as a max level dungeon in a previous expansion. This will appear after you have completed Copperbell Mines and will initially include Sestasha and Tamtara Deepcroft, but don't worry, the variety will grow as you unlock new dungeons. The other roulettes are as follows. Main Scenario Roulette will only contain the 3 storied instances that cap off the end of a Realm Reborn space story. So, Castrum Meridianum, the Praetorum, and Porta Decumana. This roulette will have unskippable cutscenes, but will give a lot of reward for the small amount of effort you will be putting into it. The 50, 60, 70, 80 roulette contains all endgame dungeons from previous expansions. So, dungeons like Snowcloak or Sestasha Hard. Trial Roulette has any of the 8-man trial fights that you have unlocked, like Bowl of Embers Hard. Normal Raid Roulette contains any of the 8-man Raid series fights, such as the fights found in Alexander. And finally, the Alliance Raid Roulette contains the 24-man raids like the Crystal Tower series. This gives a huge amount of experience, and if I'm only able to play for a short amount of time, Alliance Raid Roulette is one of the things I prioritize along with the Leveling Roulette. There are a couple other roulettes in this menu that I don't use very often, but we'll cover those when we get to them later in the video. If you're looking for something to do while waiting for the queue to pop, I would recommend doing your daily tribal quests. These don't take very long to do and give a noticeable amount of experience if you are running the reputations associated with your leveling bracket. There will be a link in the description on where to start each of the tribal quests. Not only do they give you a good amount of experience, but if you keep up with them over a long period of time, they will also give you mounts, glamours, minions, and more. Finally, for your daily options are hunts. These put targets on monsters for you to hunt down for experience and currency. The first quest to unlock these is called The Hunt, which starts in your Grand Company base, and after that, frankly has a somewhat convoluted questline to unlock further hunts, so I will be putting a link to the Hunt wiki page to help you find subsequent quests. Once you've exhausted your usual daily offerings, I would recommend the good old dungeon spam. Simply look at what level you are, select the highest level dungeon you can do, and just go to town. If running the same uniform dungeons over and over doesn't excite you and you want to add an element of randomization to your leveling gameplay, I would highly recommend you check out the Palace of the Dead. This can be unlocked at level 17 in New Gridania through the quest The House That Death Built. This quest will lead you to unlocking the first of the game's Deep Dungeon series. Deep Dungeons are randomly generated dungeons that you can take on solo or with a group of 4 people. For leveling, I would recommend running with a match-made or pre-made party. Now, there is a lot I can say about how Deep Dungeons work, but this video is already going to be pretty long, so I'm going to save the deep dive for another video. If you get to level 60 and want more Deep Dungeon action, you can pick up Knocking on Heaven's Door in the Ruby Sea to unlock the level 61 to 70 version of this content. Now that we're getting towards the end, here's a few honorable mentions if you really want ways to shake up your leveling adventures. Firstly, you can take a look at running some PvP. PvP has gotten an overhaul in patch 6.1 and is now a great time to jump in. If you have not unlocked PvP yet, you will have to go to your Grand Company's base and complete the quest A Pup Lone Longer to arrive at Wolf's Den Pier. From here, you can unlock Frontlines, Crystalline Conflict, and Rival Wings, which are the 3 main forms of PvP in the game right now. Frontline even has its own roulette once you unlock it, so it can become a normal part of your daily routine if you find out that you like it. For very old school ways of leveling, you can hit up the old Fate Farm. Simply go to the most current zone for your level and run from fate to fate, completing them as fast as you can. This is also a good way to spend your time while waiting for queues. If you're lucky, you might even see a fate train has formed in your zone, which means you can follow the crowd and your fates will be completed much faster. Finally, for the old school methods, we have Leves. These are repeatable quests that you can pick up from Leve meets in most of Realm Reborn settlements and in Foundation for Heavensward. All you have to do is go to the spot on the map marked by your Leve, hit Initiate in your quest journal, and then fulfill the Leves objective. Keep in mind that there is a limit to how many Leves you can do, indicated by the allowance number in your quest journal. The most important thing to remember while leveling in Final Fantasy is that there is no rush to getting to max level. Play the game how you want and at your pace. If you want to PvP, then PvP. If you are enjoying deep dungeons, then there is nothing wrong with grinding those out all day. If you just want to grind dungeons to max level, then do the roulettes you want to hit and then dungeon spam the highest level dungeon you have available. There is no wrong way to level as long as you are enjoying it. This is Opal from the Sprout Garden, and thank you for watching. See ya!